has had a little bit of a refresher. They brought in Ye, who, you know, had that famous run at the major, but has just generally been doing some fill-in, actually with a different Brazilian team, was playing with INTZ and very effective. And it looks like they're going to take the fight immediately straight in towards the ramp. There's a lot of bodies here. Ye's just trying to knock some heads back, and he's going to lose his teammate, but somehow stays alive for a moment. They are wrapping on him, and they should not allow him to escape, but he somehow turned this into a kill. Now there's kills being traded every which way as Mitch is getting in on the action and PTR as well, and it's all falling apart for FURIA. They don't even get a road into sight. They get their foot on the welcome mat, and they just get torn asunder.
Yeah, after that first pick, Vinny, he got very aggressive running at the under bulk player. Solo got completely destroyed, and then the crossfire was completely set up as well for Bad News Bears, and FURIA couldn't get... Heading into the second round, though, we do have heavy buy coming up from Bad News Bears. FURIA, they've gone for the investment with a couple of pistols. Not too sure if they can get much work done, but able on that Deagle may be able to tap a head or two.
Art, of course, has gone to the Zeus. This man loves the Zeus. He loves bold plays in general with the AWP or the Zeus if he has it. He's going to lead the charge, which is interesting here. Not just going to be content to let them come back to him. He tries to get out of the apartments, and they go straight into the blender. The AUGs are really kind of perfect for holding that angle, and now it's just a rock-solid hold for Bad News Bears. Not a lot of opportunity here. It's all just going to be Vinny with a P250, and he eats a lot of MP9 bullets straight to the face. Not part of this.
Shinobi just absolutely churning up the apartments players there, and unfortunately for him, he could not close the distance and make use of that Zeus. Would have loved to have seen it, though. They did get that one frag onto, I think it was Shinobi right at the end, wasn't it?
Did they actually get a kill at the end there?
I think they got, no, they got Rizu.
They did. Yeah, because Shinobi's reinvested. Yeah. So they do get one, at least a little bit of a dent. And here's a trade early on. Aggressive in towards mid, it's Queserado, but 2 kills to the AWP quickly upset the apple cart here, and Peter can now escape backwards, having done his damage in towards mid and slowed it all down. And look at this forward position from Ye, who has just once again pushed straight into the ramp.
Yeah, very aggressive. They're going to find that bomb as well, so FURIA will have to play retake without even noticing that the CTs have gotten so aggressive. You can see Rizu as well, like going to go through apartments just to back up Shinobi at the top of mid. He's only got that MP9 coming towards the top of mid now as well, so everything about to fall apart for FURIA.
Nice quick headshots from range. That's a nice way to win it out. And Ye holds strong at the Palace, and this all falls apart. Arch is going to be the last to be picked off, and 4 alive for Bad News Bears. That's a really great hold. Now, it always makes me nervous now when FURIA drops the bomb. Last night, we had a really interesting round on Overpass, where FURIA went for a pretty standard place to drop the bomb, you know, just back in by the lawnmower coming out of T-spawn, and it fell straight through the bottom of the map and was completely unrecoverable.
Oh, I saw that.
It was pretty nuts. Lex was alive with a single deagle, and he just stayed alive long enough to win the round.
That's super unfortunate when things like that happen. It's also unfortunate when you lose Art very early on there trying to take on the AWP at the top of stairs. You see Ye just full confidence pushing into A, and this once again should go to Bad News Bears as FURIA. They've only got 3 pistols to work with.
Now Ye should just be sectioned nicely as soon as they come out. There is a player who can make a little bit of noise at the Palace, but there's plenty of smokes, plenty of utility to just lock them out. They can just hold for it. Ye turns his back at an unfortunate moment, but fortunately for him, there's not really much opportunity for the remainder of the T side to get out. So they take down Ye. That really should be all she wrote. Peter's going to reposition for this fight, not going to be cowed. He's missing a couple of shots, and then he's going to take that opportunity to at least inch a little bit further into the site, but the Deagle can't connect, and so ends his life. So a quick 4-0. 4 quick rounds, and 4 rounds that have been relatively clean for the Bad News Bears. You can see they've got multiple players above 6K, so a lot of cash in the bank post-buy. And now we're going to see the full buyout from FURIA. The AWP is on Art, lots of utility behind it. This is where they should get into the party.
Going for that double SG setup as well. Haven't seen that over this side of the ocean. Not too often, at least. But they are going to go for that early mid control. Bad News Bears not really contesting. It's just Mitch here. Look at that Art, very aggressive, trying to work an angle around the side of the smoke. He's found those legs, and he will take Mitch down. So that's going to be a 4v5 now. And with full mid control, FURIA can pretty much head wherever they want.
Look at the spot from Peter, though, in the apartments. He's holding just for Queserado. I don't know if they got a wind of each other earlier on. Now he's going to fall out as soon as I was calling him out for it. But it could have been a position that would reward them. Caserado, though, shows patience, and as a result, won't lose his life. Instead, the bulk of the push comes in towards mid as they start to take ground, and Shinobi is pushed back off of the angle. Might try and get a cheeky peek back in through the window, but if he doesn't find the timing here, he's going to leave his teammate on an island on site, and that is Ye, who has been dropped. He was the sole defender actually in the A bomb site, and as a result, the site's doors have been blown off their hinges. The bomb is likely to be planted, and it looks like Bad News Bears, in a very conservative move, are already calling the save.
Yeah, pretty good call, especially in this meta. You do have to manage that economy, making sure you can buy for as many rounds as possible. And look, you're already 4 up. You may as well try to keep it into the next round. But FURIA should be able to crack the egg here, and that's going to be super good for their economy, keeping all 5 rifles alive. And at this point, you need to think about, are we prioritizing keeping all of our rifles alive, or are we going to go for the hunt and try and ruin the economy of the CTs? Because that's really what it will come down to for the long run. It is still early days here, but as you can see, Bad News Bears, they've got a lot of money on the 3 that still are alive. Mitch and Ye, however, just different story. And FURIA, the more rifles they save, the better, because if they lose one, well, they're not going to be able to buy, not in maybe this next round, but the one after. Someone will be going light on the investment.
It's definitely a nice call on both sides. It's very much the long game for Bad News Bears. Now they'll get the double op out immediately as a result of that. You can see Rizu still has 9,100 in reserve, so you've got plenty of cash as a result of that save. It's not. Let's see. It's all scopes. It's all scopes for the CTs.
Oh,
Scopes
there you go. That SG can be very dangerous on the CT side. You do have that one-tap headshot. People still seem to love the AUG a little bit more because the spray pattern out of it is just so simple. But that's a huge pick considering it is another gun round as well. Vinny going down early there, trying to get the pick from A round. FURIA love these dry pushes. The pressure towards A main. It's been something that's happened multiple times now, multiple rounds in a row. And after showing face, they are going to go for the rotation, but Bad News Bears not over-rotating off of the early information either, so FURIA looking for this B split, but that bomb's been left, so they're just going to pressure mid initially, see if they can work a pick.
It's interesting that EA's playing with the double op on this setup. EA is obviously a new addition to the team, so they're still figuring out how best to use him, you know, what positions to be in. Shinobi was very excited about the addition to the squad. Ooh, speaking of Shinobi, this is perfect timing on the peak. He's not quite going to find the kill on Art. Barely does any damage to him as well. Needed to come just a little bit further around that corner, and the wallbang's not going to be what he was hoping for. It'll at the very least slow down Fury in this round. But they have taken mid control, and at no cost. They know where Shinobi is. They can anticipate and deal with him. And this is going to be kind of tricky to stay alive, but he turns it into a frag as Able J tries to hunt solo and loses his life as a result. So what I was trying to say earlier on was that it's interesting to see Ye picking up that second op, because it's something that we've seen Mitch do a lot for this team. And it seems like they're just mixing up their setups to better complement their new pieces. That's a couple of quick frags. This is all falling apart. It's just Caserado, who, yeah, he's a player who can bust out some highlight reel plays when he needs to. But 1v5 with a double op on the other side, you just don't fancy his chances. And with 8 seconds on the clock, he's going to go ahead and save this rifle through, give them a little bit of something to work with in the next round, provided that panel spam doesn't find him before.
It was quite unfortunate for FURIA there, the way that the round panned out. The spacing between them as they tried to push to the B site, just, you know, getting isolated on the angles from the CTs with perfectly timed peaks. And then also Caserado had to go grab that bomb, which was left very late. And because of that, there was no trade potential coming into the B. Heading into the 7th, though, we are going to see a quick attack pause coming out. Able still yet to buy up, but I'm assuming it will just be the AK. Not too sure if you would want to heavily invest into that AWP and risk having not much arm on your 5th player. Bad News Bears, on the other hand, still those 5 scopes, as you mentioned before. Plenty of utility across the board. Shinobi, even with that Molotov for the extra burning damage there too, as opposed to the incendiary. And we are going to see 3 AKs, 2 SGs purchased up, and FURIA looking like they are going to set up the pressure mid early on.
Look at this aggression out from Ye. He's gone for the catwalk boost, but he's blind, and now they're close up. Oh, nearly hits that shot, but Art is just a little bit quicker. Now the presence is on towards the B-bomb site, and Rizu needs to hold strong. He finds the first. That's going to slow them just a little bit, allow the rotation to come through. And FURIA wasn't sure they wanted to commit off the back of that, which is interesting considering the fact that they definitely dedicated towards the catwalk push, slowing down the apartment peak. It's maybe a little haphazard. Yes, there was a smoke to go through, but it's still challenging. But Rizu trying to get back into position right as the smoke fades will forfeit his life. Now the bomb site is falling. They are overwhelming the position. Peter next to go. And with that, that should trigger the save. Yes, there's money available for the Bad News Bears, but there's no sense throwing good cash after bad. So they've already called the save. They're showing a very strong willingness to call that early save, keep the kit as healthy as possible. And I like this because it does give themselves the opportunity to isolate and segment Furia's round wins. So it will be 5-2 after the time expires and the bomb goes off. But Shinobi and Mitch will likely be able to keep these two AUGs and the utility on the belt alive going forward.
Yeah, beautiful entries there coming into the B site. Furia, it was Art and Quesarado essentially tapping those heads off. I think Yuri got one on the way in as well. Nice little flick from Quesarado to take down PTR. And, well, that's going to be 2 on the board for Furia. Considering, do you find over in this sort of meta, Mitch, Mike rather, do you find that it's very, I'm thinking, I'll ask Mitch as well, he can have a say as well. Do you find that Mirage is evenly balanced? Do you think it's like an 8-7 half sort of scenario?
Pretty much, most of the time, I would say that it winds up that way. I think Mirage, it almost feels like sometimes in halves that Mirage is like 2 sides are playing a script, you know, where setups and what's expected of each side is fairly played out. And the meta is so developed that it kind of feels like, oh, okay, we're in Act 1, now we're into Act 2, like this is how it's going to go. I think what really sets the apple cart on that, of that 8-7 half, that almost predestined scoreline, is if you have somebody going off individually and an X-factor player. We don't really have that yet. We have some strong performances, but I wouldn't say we have one overwhelming presence yet. This time, though, it's Furia who've used their wall of smokes to get right on the site. Mitch getting back into the sandwich, though, really does throw a bit of a wrench in the spoke. And they will find one. Now Ye can get back into position. This does upset things for Furia. They had nice forward positioning. Now they've lost both of their forward scouts. And that's really allowed Bad News Bears an angle back and around. They're out of smokes as well. So there's going to be no more wall of smokes to get onto site. They've just got to work with what they have. And it's frankly going to come down to the gun battles.
Yeah, look, very ambitious play from, I think it was Mitch, just dropping in the sandwich there. That was something that put me on the edge of my seat. But he managed to take one down with him. And it did allow for Ye to get that trade as well. So 2 for 1, definitely working out well for Yuri now. Are they going to face? They're in pretty advanced positions. You've got Abel here in sandwich, just looking to deny the cross to sight. He's going to pick up the first, but with that bomb planted for him, his position was compromised. Rap comes all the way around. PTR with a big brain understanding what the setup was trying to be there. Furia could not get it done. 3 alive for Bad News Bears, so everything essentially going right here.
30 Peak Pete is having himself a nice little start to the game. Now 10-1. On the server, so that's a nice healthy scoreline to start out on 8 rounds in. Certainly a good showing when your ops going off to that degree. And this is I think this is the most challenge that Furia have had on a map early on in a while. They've played a ton of CS this week in the Mountain Dew League. Obviously, with their event schedule being a little more full than some MDL teams, they're having to condense their matches a wee little bit. And so this round, or this week, has been very much their match week. They've got, oh, Shinobi just dunked a nade onto his teammate. That's definitely not going to make it easier, but Peter might just lighten the load a little bit with a quick op shot. This is, I think, their 7th game so far this week, and they are on a 6-win streak. So we'll see if they can keep it going. But Bad News Bears looking to be a little bit steeper of a hill to climb over.
Fury actually lost to Bad News Bears last time they fought on Mirage, which was a couple of weeks ago now, but that's interesting. Both teams very, very evenly matched on this map as well, so it really could go up. But here we are, Shinobi finding the pick on the Vinny. He's trying to lurk through that smoke. Yay as well, that crossfire fully set up on connector. 2 for him. There goes the bomb. There goes the 9th round. And it's pretty much Yuri trying to make anything work at this point. But best case, I see him maybe finding a lineup and taking 2 with him, but no real 1v5 potential.
It's interesting. So far, I would say that the slower, more patient rounds for Furia have not really been working out. Their 2 rounds came off of quick play. Oh, that's a nice free kill. Is he going to go for the knife?
Got him with the
little
BM.
bit of a cheeky play. You like it. You like to see it. You're toying with him just a wee bit. 20 seconds still to stay alive just to try and keep his rifle up, and that's going to be a challenge. Now they certainly know where he is. He's running out of bullets in the clip as well, and they're going to be wide. He's hunting him. He knows he's getting flanked, or at least should have a pretty good idea this is a possibility. Now they've got the circle drawn tight, and it'll be Mitch who ultimately comes in for the backstab kill. But yeah, like, so Bad News Bears is a team that they've been impressive, right? And they've been retooling. Tens was the name that was lost. He stepped down willingly from the roster, and he's an exciting name in the North American scene. People have been connecting him to Envious, potentially. He's just one of these talents that people have been looking at for a few seasons now, saying, all right, when is he going to get a shot on a top team? So most people suspected that that'd be a pretty big loss for the squad when he stepped down, but replacing him with a talent like Ye, that's just a big find. And Rizu is actually a stand-in because Crashies is on vacation. Crashies will be taking that 5th roster spot when he gets back from it. So all sorts of weird little details. Didn't you miss the chaos of rosters in the North American scene?
Look, it's been pretty much the exact same over here in Australia anyway, so haven't been missing too much. Speaking of missing, Vinny will reposition it across there. Managed to pick up a second onto Shinobi. You got Rizu coming in from... Is that window? Did he just jump out of window? Absolute maniac. Yeah, Mitch is going to find good damage here on the A side. Yay! Oh, look at the read as well. Finding first, going for the wall bang. Mitch with the cover, though, will save his teammate. Perfect team play, back and forth, bait and switch. Left, right, good night. And that is going to be Bad News Bears. 8-2 already over FURIA. So 2 more, and they will be very happy heading into the second half.
This is pretty wild. I mean, this is unexpected considering the run that FURIA have been having here. They're going to pick up the 1 hero AK and try and make it work in this round. They're definitely not a team to shy away from the forest buy, and I expect to see a bit more of a momentum play, just a fast hit on towards the site as a result. It looks like B is the choice. There's heavy CT presence here, though, and Peter's going to be leading the charge with a big AWP. Flash is perfectly timed, though. They're already out of the window. This gets messy now. The pistols can condense angles. They've run over one. No kills have come back in return, but the Flames will eventually find one. Now T's overwhelming the site. They've worked their way all the way around, but Peter is staying alive, dancing around the pole and claiming frags. He sets up Rizu as well to support, and that's beautifully done by the dynamic duo to stay alive and prevent FURIA from even getting a bomb plant out of it.
That was a crazy hold. I thought once FURIA had pretty much all their players on the site there, that Bad News Bears were in for some trouble, but then the rotations there just in time. Huge play staying alive there on the B site as well, but 9 on the board. That's a 7-round lead already. FURIA, well, they're looking a little bit on the ropes, especially with that economy. They can force it, but the utility might be a bit skew if... We'll see if they could do anything with it. A lot of these strats that FURIA seem to be using to dump that util early at one place, maybe try and get a couple of trades, but they're just not able to get onto these sites. The crossfires implemented by Bad News Bears just working wonders.
The real question is, Mac, is it that they just can't kill Peter?
That's probably the answer, yeah.
He's died once. And that was like, was that the pistol? It's been a while since he died, too. Maybe he's got a little extra Kevlar. Have you seen Back to the Future 3?
Which one's the third one? Is that the Wild West
Cowboy.
one?
Yeah, the Wild West one.
Yep, definitely seen it.
You think he put the what was it, the piece of metal, the forge metal under his poncho?
Maybe. That's probably the secret.
I feel like maybe 2 people in the chat right now got that reference. It's a cultural touchstone, though. If you haven't seen Back to the Future, you're doing yourself dirty. I
feel like most people should have seen Back to the Future at this point. Although I'm what, 27? I feel like I'm a bit older.
Yeah, I mean 25. I'm right around there. These are the things our parents share with us. Peter's found one as they start to enter in. Rizu somehow still alive in the back of site, and they set this up nicely. He's the sacrificial lamb, but that's okay. It's allowed his teammates to get back onto site and ready to get tested. Doing a great job of finding these rotations. But FURIA have done a good job of finding the frags. They're going to have to go to recover the bomb, which does add a wrinkle, but they've done enough damage, and it's all going to be up to Ye. The newest addition to the team has to bring it through now, and he's turned this into a 1v1. He's just holding for the peak, and he'll find the frag. Read him like a book, and Quesarado played right into his hands. Ye just dominates in that post plant, or not even the post plant, in just the clutch, and finds it through. And that's now double digits for Bad News Bears. We were talking about an 8-7. Well, this is looking like a far cry from an 8-7 map.
That seemed like it was right off the back of just knowing that that bomb was down on the short, knowing that FURIA had no idea where Ye was coming from. Didn't really bait his teammate, just sort of was holding that angle over towards Van, got there just in time. FURIA had no information, and Ye just isolating the angles perfectly, going for the aggression to take the man down on short, and everything just going right there at the end of the round. But also FURIA, they ran out of utility with still a minute left on the clock.
Now coming through the smoke with what little they have, they're not finding much at all for what they've invested, which admittedly not a ton, but it's not going to yield any results whatsoever. They get Mitch low, but close only matters in horseshoes and hand grenades, and this is going to be neither of them. So now 11-2. I mean, this is an unreasonable scoreline considering the context of the game. FURIA is currently first in the Mountain Dew League with a 7-2 record. They've just rolled over 6 teams in quick succession, chewing them up and spitting them out, including a win over ATK, which was the most impressive one so far. But Bad News Bears, a 2-2 record so far, a little bit of a slower start, with admittedly many fewer matches played. Now with their new addition in Ye and their stand-in in Rezu looking like a force to be reckoned with here on Mirage.
It looks like Bad News Bears just have FURIA's number at the moment, right? Just fully and completely countering every strategy that FURIA are trying to throw. And Mitch in a very advanced position as well. This is probably going to catch FURIA off guard again.
They're not checking it at all. What's interesting is, I would say that, so first we're going to have this right here, and somehow Mitch is going to find the second as well, despite the fact that he's getting pre-fired. So that's such a strong spot. If he goes forward, he might find the bomb to cap it all off. What's interesting is I think Bad News Bears are playing a very similar style to the way that FURIA actually likes to play their own T side. And it's odd that FURIA is getting so caught off guard by it. This relentless aggression, this sneaking a player in, you know, taking momentum, taking control, and taking the initiative. It's interesting that the Brazilian side are finding themselves maybe on the other end of their own tactics. It's really nicely called. Ye cleans up kill in towards mid, and now it's just going to be Queserado, who's got to find the clutch just to get FURIA their third round on the board. And if he doesn't find it, they're going to have very little to work with the battle for the last round and a half, and this could easily be a 13-2.
It will rely on Rezu here to make the correct decision, although this positioning was pretty nice. Unfortunately, it's going to be read by Queserado. And then just the entry routes looking very good. Unfortunately, he was stuck on the short side there. Mitch baiting all that attention with the pre-fire as well will deny the fact that Ye is coming in from short, and that is pretty much, well, I'd say it's the nail in FURIA's coffin at this point. 12 on the CT side. Bad News Bears, surely they are not as bad on the T side as FURIA look right now.
It's very rough. It almost feels like, so they're losing a lot of initial picks, right? And once that happens, they kind of just grind to a halt, and they look somewhat stunned. They're not reacting as well to that initial pick or responding to it. They're not putting themselves in great positions to trade. And they're kind of getting dispersed and wrapped around. Now Peter, holding in mid, just playing the game of angles, is going to come up with a nice prize. They've got a player to connect. They should be able to clean out Ye, no problem. So here, there's a little bit of forward positioning. The question is, do they respond well off the back of it? Because if they hesitate, they wait for these smokes to fade. Shinobi's going to be on their tail. He's going to be finding one in towards mid. He does indeed. And they're going to get crunched upon once again. So now they've got 2 isolated players. Art, who at least has a strong position towards stairs. But the bomb and Queserado coming all the way back through ramp, and Art has to take the initiative. Rezu has to be aware he could be here. He's peppering it. He's anticipating it. And so Art knows there's a timer on how long he can hold this spot before he gets pushed on. This is such a tough spot to play on, and Mitch getting aggressive might catch Queserado to begin with. Okay, good response. Finally an opportunity into the round. It's going to be Rezu who has to get through and just goes for the crouch, crowd, walk, spray. And that will not quite be the ticket as Art finds the bullet. FURIA blessedly find their third round.
Yeah, look, that was well played. Queserado forcing the 1v1 in Pala as well, making sure that was cleared out so they could plant the bomb, which they didn't need to do in the end anyway. But look, it was all over the place. It's not looking super structured there for FURIA. Hopefully, the CT side can be a little bit more structured as well, because it really needs to be if they want to find their way back into this game at all.
Does indeed. And it's interesting because FURIA typically you think of as a bit more of a T-sided team. I mean, they're rock solid on the CT side, but it feels like to me, and I'm just pulling this out of my you-know-where, that generally some of the more dynamic play comes on that T side where they can just get aggressive, get that momentum going. Speaking of aggressive, Art is all the way up mid and has found nobody home. So this solo play from Art could be an absolute thorn in their side. The only problem is what it's led to is an incredibly weakened A bomb site. And as the hit comes through from Bad News Bears, it's just going to be able Jay to try and hold them off, and he's got to do so much work. Long range with USP, he's trying to tap away, but Ye annihilates him. The air raid nades were coming through as well. Now the bomb can be planted, and that's a post plant with strong setup, a flank coming through, lurking out of the apartments, and just a brilliant take on towards the A bomb site for Bad News Bears.
Art's been heard though. We can see that Rizu, he reacted to the footsteps coming through T-spawn. Big fight in CT, but it's going to favor Bad News Bears. Although, yay, apparently that information wasn't heard or passed on because Art is going to take him down. It's a 1v3 still, but the kit is very far away. And look, it's pretty much done and dusted here. That is going to be 13 for Bad News Bears after taking this pistol. Fighting so well there in CT. Rizu finds Art right at the end. No exits for the man, and that is going to be 13 on the board for Bad News Bears.
That just gives so little of a window for FURIA to get back into. They were hoping to pry it open. Instead, it got shot on their fingertips. Now they've got just nothing to work with. Serato's going to pick up a Zeus. That might be the only investment of the round. It isn't. Nope, second Zeus. Okay, here we go. Full kit, full buy. Art and Serato getting the Zeuses. Yeah, this is all you do. This is how you turn it around. Little really taser action.
$600 investment to potentially grab yourself some rifles there, maybe some SMGs if you do hold these close range angles, catch the T's off guard. And they seem to be expecting maybe a B split to come in from the Bad News Bears. But at the moment, it looks like they might have just made the wrong decision. Bad News Bears very spread out, just playing that anti-eco, looking to deny any aggressive pushes from FURIA. But that is not what we're going to see at all. You can see the baiting set up over towards apartments there as well. Serato up on the short side of the balcony. And you've got Yuri as well just jumping for info, trying to bait attention away from that short corner. Bad News Bears making the right decision, just going to go for the AXE it seems, and they'll find a 4v2 over on the site here. But Art will get the 1v1 at mid. Unfortunately for him, he will lose to the MAC-10 of PTR.
Zeus doesn't quite have the range for that engagement. Now it's going to be Ye coming in late, clears out one, and it's looking like it's going to be another clean round for the Bears. They are not being tested at all, really. I mean, they've just funneled both players back towards the catwalk. They know exactly where they are. Maybe Serato can set up to try and bait somebody out with a Zeus, which is exactly what he's going to do. Yuri playing sacrificial bait spot for him, to be quite frank. But chances are slim, and they are swarming with T. So even if he finds one, oh, missed Zeus. It's not going to be much more for this world. Yuri does at least get a single kill with the USP, but it's more of a pity prize at this point because they've been wiped out. Now they're going to get an investment. Art immediately goes to Glass Clan and AWP. And this, frankly, is probably going to be their last hurrah. There's not a lot of road after this. We're coming to the end of our rope.
Definitely that last opportunity. But they could make it work. You know, the glass cannon can be dangerous. Not too sure how it's going to work. Bad News Bears, they're just going to go for the hard A execute. And FURIA going for the 2-1-2 split. May just not be able to hold this off. You've got Able J extremely heavily invested up towards the top of the balcony. Although, Bad News Bears just going out dry. And that's going to allow Art to open up the round.
Oh, big swing here from Able J, but he gets caught immediately after, so the trade is good for Bad News Bears. They gain a little bit of inroads, and the smokes are down to block access as well. This is a bold plant for Shinobi, though, and Art is still here. He doesn't realize it. Art swings just in time to deny that bomb going down. So they're trying to trade him. They will eventually do so. Ye's only good for one. It falls to Peter. The man who was unkillable in the first half is now going to try his hand at it, finding a little bit of a miracle act. He's got 3 to find, and he can't take the first. Fluffing the spray just a little bit, allowing Vinny the opportunity to find it. Likely would have been traded immediately out even if he had found that kill, but it is going to be FURIA finding just a little breath of air here. Still a 10-round deficit, but at the very least, they bought themselves not an eco, but a forced buyout from the Bad News Bears. No Zeus's on the BNB side, though. I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah, big disappointment. Although, you know, this could be their opportunity to get back into it. As long as they manage that economy as well, don't get too over-aggressive and deny the saves from Bad News Bear. But over-aggressive is just what we're going to see at a main there. Looks like it was a misread from FURIA. Maybe expecting Bad News Bears to be on that save. This force fight working out so far. And Ye, he's going to find a second as well. Vinny with the 2k will bring it straight back, though. Ye holding strong. 3k for Vinny, though, so it's a 2v2 already with a whole minute remaining. But that bomb's down in the hands of FURIA at mid.
Ye is just a one-man wrecking crew on site. But fortunately, Vinny's got the arms of his own. And so this is actually looking good. Ye's going to have to do it all for the team. Fortunately for him, they have no idea where he's coming from. For their last information, he was playing on towards A, and so he's going to go for this initial peek, looking for it. Looks like he might want to go all the way back to Underpass, and I like this idea. That's where Mitch was last playing from, so it's possibly going to be the place they least expect, though their internal timers have to be saying, well, he could really be anywhere, and you see Vinny's already expecting and anticipating it, so it's all going to be on Ye. He's got to hit his shots. He does not have the health for a protracted engagement. It's pretty much going to be the quick headshots, or it's going to be nothing. He'll start to claw them out. There's the first, looking for one more. It's from the chair position. As soon as he swings, K Serrano should have this. But does Ye realize process of elimination where it could be coming from? He's anticipating a longer engagement. He's right up close. Might just leave his back turn, and that's exactly what happens. So K Serrano will have the kill, but Ye with the 4K makes a valiant effort to bring that back, and he's going to make it so expensive for FURIA.
Yeah, that's set up from FURIA as well, the old bait and switch, making sure that they can trade and play together, no matter which way Ye decided to come from. But that's still 14 on the board, so they've got a lot of time that they have already bought with the performance they've shown us today so far. So FURIA, still a long way to go, and with only one alive at the end, that is going to be very heavily damaging on the economy, but at least they have a breath of fresh air now. The Bad News Bears are back on the Glocks. You can't really dish out too much quick damage. No utility to play with either. So it's essentially going to be brute force, power in numbers. Take 3v1 engagements, which they are going to find here. But he's just barely going to survive. He's going to almost get the third man there as well. But he does survive. Ooh. Oh no, he's fallen down. Beautiful shot from PTR as well. As in the 2v3. That bomb needs to be retrieved, but Vinny gets the info.
So dangerous, though. Look at this push in towards apartments. K Serrano's going to keep it alive, but okay, Peter. Now has a rifle for himself. 54 seconds to work with. This is still dangerous, but Yuri will avert the danger. Diverts the flow. Keeps it from being too chaotic. But that was risky for a moment. A little bit risky.
The only thing that Bad News Bears didn't get done there was literally planting the bomb, and everything else is mission accomplished. All the wind conditions pretty much hit there, considering they're keeping that economy so low even after this buy. Look at it. Yuri and Art may be able to buy into the next, but for everyone else, that economy is destroyed. The utility as well, so damn low. Bad News Bears, they're probably going to have the better buy here.
This is going to be interesting. So the Bad News Bears, tons of utility behind it. The MP9 still on K Serrano. He's super comfortable playing with that gun, though. He's always comfortable with doing it. He finds the aggression. He finds the angle. There was one round, I think last night. It may have been 2 nights ago. They're all starting to blur together just a little bit. But K Serrano was up in apartments on this map. He gets 1 kill with the MP9, drops his gun, picks up the AK of the player he just killed, hops out the window, turns around, and gets 3 more. And so K Serrano is the type of player who can always go off that way. You just got to anticipate. But Mitch is going to get the party started here. A peek in towards the underpass and a kill found as a result. Weakens up that mid defense. Takes the art op out of play. And gives a lot more free reign for the Bad News Bears to rumble.
Slowly clearing everything, just gaining as much map control as possible. Bad News Bears will eventually go for the mid-split here, but FURIA seems to have given it up already. After having pretty much full control, not spotting anything early on. But one flash is going to draw their attention back this way. Bad News Bears, 4 men invested here. Looking like they are going to try and filter up Con. Bust through the smoke may just catch FURIA off guard as well, but Yuri, he's going to be the anchor here that needs to stay alive.
So now a little bit of space gain. That late smoke, just a second too slow, so the trade frac can come through. That's the A site ripe for the taking. Massive kill, though, for Vinny to secure the flank at the very least. Keep the lurker off and keep the numbers even. That bomb will be planted. No real chance to deny, though the spam will attempt to do so. Now this gets into a very awkward post-plant situation for FURIA. They can't let this slip. They don't have the cash reserve. They either need to make a call about going for this or saving immediately, and it looks like go for it is going to be the situation. You can't blame them at all. The numbers are even. This should be a ripe opportunity, but Mitch is going to have the backstab. They've left him in the smoke. Now he can swing out. That's an easy frag. Found one. It's going to keep them slowed up as well while a player tries to reposition towards mid. Mitch may just have to check this to make sure nobody can get out, and that's going to be perfect as Ye is a little bit too slow getting back into that mid position. He gets plucked as a result. So K-Serato and Able J survive for a moment, and FURIA are continuing to claw these rounds back, but they're so close, Mac. All it's going to take is one error, and this whole map's going to go hurtling out of control for the Brazilian side.
And that's it. So it will come down to how perfect this CT side can be played. Because if FURIA take it, this will probably be one of the bigger comebacks I've seen in a very, very long time as well. Bad News Bears could at least try to play for overtime, if anything. And FURIA, as long as they can manage the economy, they will be able to play for that overtime as well, with the ability to at least make one mistake, but, you know, you'd prefer the W in regulation. Bad News Bears looking a little lost about what exactly they want to do right now. Shinobi must have been AFK at the start of that round. He didn't buy it all. Everyone else with guns in hand. Looks like the round is going to be match medicked because there was a TK there, so hopefully that's what's going on.
I would assume. I think Shinobi may have
so.
dropped out. Something's going on here. Something has gone horribly awry. So this might take a little bit of a moment, folks. I'm not sure what's happened here. Maybe they just lost their mind over in spawn to killing their teammates. But, you know, I just had a thought. We've currently got 4 continents represented on this broadcast. You're in Australia. We've got Mitch, our producer. Are you in Ireland right now, Mitch? He can't really tell. So he is in Ireland. So we've got Europe. I'm in North America. Bad News Bears are also in North America. Unfortunately, FURIA are also in North America. Fortunate for their ping. Unfortunate for my continent thing. But I'm going to claim they count as South America because, you know, they're a Brazilian team. We'll call it. So all I'm saying is if we had ATK in here, the South African roster, this would be like a 5-continent game.
Wait, did they swap from Bravado? Is it still the old Bravado roster that you're talking about?
They were Bravado, then they became Denial, now they are ATK Arena.
Denial.
Which is a Brazilian org,
right.
That's
Okay. See, look, I haven't been keeping up with the NA goodness.
Well, you've been busy.
I've been watching all the Pro League. Other than that, all the NA Pro League. It's got Renegades. I can't not watch the NA Pro League, you know?
Of course not. I think we get to claim them. I think at a certain point they've naturalized, and you guys lose.
No, sorry. Yep, get out.
What? I mean, for a while. So for a while, that roster had an American coach, and and an American IGL, and they were based in America.
And that's when everything was going wrong for them. Then they picked up, you know, another Australian and a Kiwi, and now they're going pretty damn well. I don't know. It was just, I'm probably denying. I'm just denying cleansing Jesus. Or oh wow!
Also American owned. Just have to point that out too. It's a Detroit-based org. All I'm saying is there's a lot of arguments right. I'll just wait till. I mean, they're doing really well right now, which is why I want to claim them. But I guess they are your representatives abroad. And since they did, I mean, they just got the one Norwegian, right? So that's your international flair.
That's it. It's the icing on the cake. Although Grat's still having visa issues as far as I'm aware, right? He's still over here in Australia at the moment trying to get it all sorted out. Which, like, no Australian has had a problem. It's just because Grat's from New Zealand, and I think it's someone somewhere not recognizing esports as a place where you can be an athlete, so the visa's been slowed down or denied or something.
The US has gotten really strict about P1 visas, which are, I think, most of the way that esports players have been getting in. It's basically the person of special interest or skill that is an asset to the United States through their unique skill visa. And not to get too political, but the current government has been cracking down on those in a big way, and it's really hurt esports. So that's the chief issue. It's been hurting traditional sports as well. I gotta be careful with my vocabulary there. Traditional sports, but it's such a pain too, because Renegades was on such a momentum play, right? Like they were coming off of the massive performance at tournaments, coming off of really big results, and then it's like, all right, by the way, you don't get to play with your 5 for a while. Sucks.
Yeah, that was before IEM as well. So you could see at IEM, Grat was playing a little bit not up to par as he had been playing before that as well. So there was that thought in the back of your head where you think, like, is it off the back of not being able to play with his team because everyone else is over there practicing with, is it Som? Is it Som that's, no,
Smuya.
Smuya, that's right, the other S-man. So Smuya, bloody, he's good, right? He's good, don't get me wrong, but then when you have to swap someone out and then they're a little bit stale because you haven't been able to get that practice in, which they had been doing for months and months before, so it goes wrong, and it's unfortunate because Grat definitely has that potential to compete in the world scene, which you have seen in like recent times, right?
Sure. I mean, I think the major was where it was most on display, where he was just really wrecking face. I mean, I think he is beyond announcing himself on the world stage and really established at this point.
Yeah.
Very promising player. I mean, someone I personally, not having much of a window into your scene, hadn't really heard of until that long ago. And he's just really exploded into prominence.
I've been a big fan of Grat for a long time. Played a lot of KZ with the man. He used to stream a lot as well, being from NZ before, because like New Zealand, right? They've had like gigabit internet for a long time, whereas Australia just had like ADSL2 with the minimum like working upload speed, so no one could stream. But all the New Zealanders with the extra speeds just were able to stream earlier on. Had good ping across the ocean there as well.
Do they just flaunt it at you guys?
Pretty much. Felt like that.
About their wonderful internet.
I was green with jealousy.
I'm in 2 weeks moving to a place with a gigabit internet, and I am so excited.
Ooh. Get those like 50, 60 gig downloads in like a couple of seconds.
I had it for about 9 months, and then I left that place, unfortunately, and I've been dreaming of it ever since. It haunts my dreams, and my slow download speeds haunt my nightmares. So we'll be getting back to a dream state. And the game's back underway, Mac. Oh, boy.
Whoa. Action. No lights on camera, though. But bad news bears, they actually got the buyout this time. Shinobi, he had a lot of money, but he's prioritized the utility, so going for that Galil as well, making sure bad news bears are able to make it out somewhere. And then you can see PTR with that Mac 10 just making a lot of noise at apartments, trying to hold these rotations. As the bomb's on the opposing side of the map, just looking to go for the A-Buster.
This is interesting. I like the spot from Mabel J as well. I'm not sure if they have a Molly for him. Mitch does indeed, so if they decide to commit that Molly, he's probably a dead man. But it's always going to be a question of whether they actually check in. And Mitch is just dry peeking it. Okay, that works too. Mitch, don't use your utility. Just kill everybody with AK bolts. There's a huge gap in the smoke, though. And Rezu, I think, recognizing that, is going to have to plant a little bit more safe. Problem is, that allows Art to swing in from CT and catch a kill, and now it's all falling apart for the Bad News Bears. They've got PTR coming on a fast flank, but he's going to have to find his way through the murder hole first. Should have a free kill and an upgrade as well if he reaches his long arms under that table. I don't think he can actually get for it. I think it got blown a little bit too far below the table. Doesn't matter. Okay, Ye. Just kill everyone. I'm speculating over gun steal, and Ye's just claiming lives.
Yeah, pushing out at the perfect time while everyone was still thinking about the man at jungle, expecting him to go for the swing. Second mine there, but after the very long pause, Bad News Bears finally finding a sleeping FURIA. So they were on the roll. They had that momentum, but it all slowed down there. What was it? The, where are we now? That's the 22nd round we just went past. I can't tell because it's all reset again. Number at the top. Ruining my fast maths.
I tried.
It is.
I haven't done math in any official format in a long time. But we've got, I mean, this is very much the cobbled together buy, right? They've taken whatever cloth they have left and they've spread it thin. K-Serrado has an MP9 at the least. There's a single rifle available, otherwise it's just going to be pistols. And the way the Bad News Bears have been playing, it's been pretty lights out. I don't anticipate them having too many stumbling blocks here. So it looks like they want to go for just a straight up fast hit towards the apartments. No map control towards A at all, which is a bit of a change up in terms of pacing. Considering they recognize that the economy's got to be a little strained from the FURIA side, they just want to take this fight and force the issue. Rizu first down. He can't figure out where K-Serrado's playing from, and so K-Serrado will live for a moment. Now his opportunity to do more damage. They're swarming the site, but it doesn't matter. K-Serrado still trading him out. Somehow finds the flank as well, working his way back through the smoke. Either direction, he's found damage and brought it to a 2v2. It's left to Peter and Ye to find this, and both CTs are going to be ready for the fight. But the bomb is down, and Caserado can exploit that, and now he's got support as well.
Good use of utility from FURIA as well there, just to buy that extra time for the rotations, which might actually win them the round. Unfortunately, Caserado just looks the wrong direction at the wrong time, so it's Able J in 1v2, looking to clutch it, and he's going to find the first bit on 5 HP. It's only going to be one bullet either way. Rapid around the site. Look at this PTR. No, what's happening here? Ring around the rosy. Able J, he's looking the wrong direction, and the timing will favor PTR eventually. But wow, that couldn't have been closer. 16-7 is going to be the final scoreline. And Mike, that was such an interesting way to finish it.